Hi, and welcome to DIY with Jeannie. Welcome back if you are a return visitor. And if this is your first time, welcome. This is where I do all things crafty. This is my craft spot. Um, I also do occasionally show you things that I've recently gotten. But today I'm going to do two things. Show you one thing that I've recently gotten. But I've had this fabric for a long time. Knew I wanted to make me sleep shorts out of it. Did not really, well, wasn't sure if I wanted short shorts or knee length shorts, and so I'm going with knee length shorts on this. And fortunately, this pattern has the length for knee length, so I was able to go with the knee length. So set that over there. So I've already cut my pattern. I do that because I don't have a table big enough in this space to do that. So we are doing the Walk the Plank PJ bottoms by Patterns for Pirates. Patterns for Pirates has quite a number of free patterns, but they also have some for sale. And I'm just checking this one out. I did that other pair of shorts but this pattern was free pattern. Did the other pair. My husband's shorts I'm going to make out of this fabric, which I just love. Believe it or not, he's a gamer. Who knew? But it also very stretchy, stretches four way, or yeah, four ways stretch. But I thought these would be really cute for him. So I just ordered this from Joann's, and it came yesterday. So that is, I'm going to do his shorts, and he will also have shorts out of that. Probably the long shorts, like I'm doing for me. So this is our pattern, and my fabric is this wonderful sciencey fabric. I am a nerd, for lack of a better term, but I also have taught science for a long time. Right now I teach vet tech, but I've taught chemistry and physics and biology and all kinds of things. So I thought this was just a very appropriate pattern for me. Now, this pattern is one. The other pair of shorts that I did like this. But this one comes this way. So here is the back of the pattern, and here is the front. And they just took out that side seam. And they did the adjustments so that I didn't have to. So here is our pattern. So let's take the pattern off. I did I want to say large. I did a large based on measurements, 33-inch. I actually have a 32-inch waist, but I went ahead and went up instead of down because I'd rather have more room than to feel like sausage casing. So, pins out, put them in my pin cushion. Move that envelope. So that one is my size pattern. My husband I'll have to cut his pattern, and I have another copy. I'll have to cut his in his size. Probably, I'll measure him and determine. Now the other thing is on this, give me just a second to put all these pins away so I don't stab myself, because that would be bad. It is a mirror image, so I've got two directions because you don't want to do the same direction. You want to mirror image your fabric so that I don't have two left sides. But one of the things about this is they have the women's rise and the men's rise. So you have to determine, are you making women's pants or men's pants? So that is the other thing that you have to do. Anytime you print your own pattern, it gives you these little boxes, and measure with a ruler to make sure that your pattern is that size. If it's not, you can either adjust the sizes. I wouldn't do that, not until I was better at it. Or you can reprint it at different settings. And that sometimes takes care of it. So here is our, with back and back, and front. So we want to do our back to back let's see. Let's follow the directions because I fall into that hole quite a bit. So we've got our fabric, all of our stuff. Here are the different pants that you can do from this. You can do pant length, you can do short length, and you can do knee length from these. They also have a child's pattern. Same thing. You can, has the same options. You can do boys and girls, and then you have your options of your measurement. Now, I really like that it gives you not just measurements, what you need to look at, but also your finished measurements. So it's going to tell you this is how long it's going to be to the kneecap. Now, it's not going to be that way on everybody. It's just what it's intended for. For me, it's probably going to be below the knee because my inseam is only 26 inches. Very short little legs. Goes with the very short little body. So it's not like I'm not proportionate. I am. Now, let's look at, here's the fabric requirements. It's based on a 44-inch wide fabric. Does not account for shrinkage, so keep that in mind. Tells you how much yardage you need. Then, first thing it tells you, it wants you to do is a memory hem. So, at the bottom of our fold, it wants us to fold it in at about 1 inch and iron it. Now, I will do this on my husband's because I don't really care either. So it just wants a memory there. So let's get our small iron and my wool. My wool pressing mat. And we will iron that in. Set that down because I dropped the part on the ground. And I'm not sure where it is right now. So for this, this is the waist. No, this is the bottom. You have to decide which is the inside, which is the outside. There we go. And we are going to fold this right at 1 inch, or roughly 1 inch. Now, if you do not have a ruler handy, and I have my mat, but you can always use this knuckle right here on everyone is 1 inch. Not sure how that works out. You would think your fingers would be different lengths, and they probably are, but I know they are because my hands are tiny. But that is 1 inch. That little span right there. So if you're ever in doubt, that's one way to do it. If you ever need 6 inches, that's $1. Not just a 1, but a 5, 10, whatever. Those are 6 inches long. They're 3 inches wide. So if you ever just need that information. Now what we're doing is just putting a memory fold in. We're not going to leave it folded, but we want the fabric to remember this measurement. It is to help later when we go in to hem it. We'll have this 1 inch all the way across. And was mine folded exactly or cut exactly straight across the bottom? Probably not. I really have got to get my workspace made, and I'm hoping to get that done over spring break, which is in March. But, so there is that, and it's going to leave a memory there so that when I finish sewing, it remembers that spot. So let's move it out of the way. Grab our other piece. Decide which is, okay, there's the bottom. That's the outside. So let's go to the inside. I know that because if I do it from this side, the words are backwards. So there's NACL. Flip that over so you can see it. And there is NaCl in the correct direction. So that's how I know. No. It unfolded itself. Come on, guys. Work with me. Work with me. Okay. Let's keep going. I really like this fabric. One, it's very soft. It is a fleece. I got it quite a while ago, so it's probably well out of production. But it is so cute. It'll go with any kind of a color top that I want to put in. I can wear it pretty much year-round. It won't bother me if they are made out of fleece on the bottom. I just wear a little cami on the top. So there is our... There is our fold. So we did that. Now, okay, place one front and one back leg right sides together. So let's flip it over to stitch the finished seam. Repeat the opposite leg. Doesn't tell me what it was. Oh, inseam. Inseam first. I'd gone right up to the top where it said it. Goodness. Okay. There's the right side. Around. Not like so, because that is where we do this, so that's not right. So what we're going to do is fold one piece in half, right sides together. So we want to match up our corner, there, and then just make sure our seams are correct all the way down. We're basically making a leg. So I'm going to pin both of them, and then we'll go over and sew both of them at the same time. I'll take you with me. I love that I now have the sewing machine set up so that you can stay with me the whole time. So there we go. We're going to do both legs. See, there's one. See, that's our little leg. And here is our crotch area. What have I done here? Why is that weird? I know that's right. I know that's right, so it's fine. So there's that. Let's do the same thing down here. Whoops. Got it stuck to my pins. So we're going to go to the corner of the crotch. We want that one to match up for sure. Because that's important. Crotch area is one of the most important because you don't want, you know, a wonky crotch area. It's never good. Okay. Going. And see how I've got it just off there. And that's okay. Because when we hem it, it'll take care of it. So there we go. We've got both of our legs. We're ready to go. I'm going to go sew that seam. And, well, you're going to come with. But let's switch over to the sewing machine and get this done. Okay, so here we go. We are going to sew those right up. I've got pink thread in, and that will be okay because there are so many colors in this. I'm not going to change out the thread. So let's, I'm sewing back over. It slides across the carpet. Straight. Let's give it a little longer stitch. I'm going to go with 3.5. I'm doing that because it's so thick. So we have our seams sewed. I just left it, I didn't cut this apart yet. While I was feeding, I just went ahead and chain fed that through. Let's move that out of the way. Let's take our pins out and clean up our threads so that we can go to the next step, which is the crotch curve. So there's that. Let's get this last string dealt with. The one thing I really like about fleece is that it just kind of hides that thread. You can't see it because the pile is so deep. Pile. Let's get this one done. Let's go and get our our pins out. Okay, that's it. We already did. And now that end. So we have our strings cut off. I don't know where I put my little trash bag. So there's seams. So our crotch curve, flip one leg right side out. So we have this one. Okay. Slide the leg that is right side out into the leg that is still inside out. Okay. There we go. Now we want to align the top edges and the inner leg seam. So let's do that first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the seam and open that seam and put that right together and put our pin in right there so that we have that right together. And then all the way up the legs. This is always, it's always a surprise whether or not it's going to fit. I'll get better at it, but I'm trying really hard to go simply by the measurements on the pattern. And since this is all fabric that I've had for a very long time, that's one of the main reasons I'm using fabric that I've had, is just so I'm not buying something new and going, oh, I wish that had worked better. I have plenty of fabric in my stockpile to do all of the tests that I want to do. Some things matter less. Pajamas matter less. I'm going to wear these no matter what. If they're a little big, they're a little big. If they're a little tight, we'll figure that out. I should probably just lose a little weight, but I just don't want to, so, you know, I mean, whatever. Yes, I make my shirts mediums. I usually, or my shirts large. I usually buy large if I buy a t-shirt. It's not because necessarily that's what fits the best. It's that I don't really like some of my problem areas to be visible. I would rather have a shirt that swallows me than have a shirt that shows off all of my beautiful little bumps and blemishes. So there we go. We've got that all the way. We're going to go back and sew this. So let's go back to the sewing machine. Okay. Okay, so we've got that done. Let's take our pins out and then go back and make sure we've got all our threads cut. Then we will measure and get ready to put our elastic in at the top. I think one of the really nice things about putting elastic in shorts like this, let's go ahead and flip legs right side out. All right. There we go. And there we go. There's our shorts. That is nice and big. But to be fair, it'll fill over my rear end nicely. So let's get the elastic and get it measured and cut. Okay, so we are going to take, I'm using 1-inch elastic. I think the pattern recommended, 1.5. Let's see. Yes, recommended 1.5. I just prefer 1 inch. It's personal comfort. You do what you want to do. You can do the 1.5, which is that wide. And, you know, that's not that bad for most people. I just don't like it. So we want it to fit around and overlap. So we're going to cut it right at this fold. Now what you want to do is stretch your elastic out a few times because it's going to grow on you. So before you sew it down to the shorts, make sure it's the length you want it. So now we have it like so. I'm going to sew this. And let me make sure I've got it. Ooh, that's a lot. Here, and I'll show you. It is now this much longer. And I had it to where it was that much longer. So we're now going to fold that over. And I am going to sew it. Now you can sew it one of two ways. And I am going to do the square way, but you can either just zigzag across a couple of times, back and forth, or you can take and sew it where you're going down, across, and then make your X in the middle, like so. And that's how I'm going to sew it. It's personal preference, but for me, I like the way it holds a little bit better. So let me pin that. And I'm going to go sew it. I'm not going to take you with me this time because it's just a real quick. And then I will show you what's next. So there we go. And I'm just going to sew around where I've drawn. So let's do that real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, so see, I just sewed it in that X. Let me trim off all of the leftover thread that we don't need. It'll just get in our way later. Trust me, I've done it. And you can see you can see how it is on the back a little bit and on the front. So it's a little different than what I drew, but I just was sewing straight lines and hoping for the best. But there we go. So there is this piece. Now we are going to put a marker at the 4 corners. So basically I just want to know where middle of this to the middle of that. So see, I've got my pin there, but then this end I don't have a pin because it's right in the middle of our square. And now I want to do the same here. I'm going to do the middle. And the middle. There we go. So we're going to take and I am going to try to even up these seams just a wee bit. So let me move this out of the way. To just kind of straighten this up just a bit. See, I'm trying to keep it on that line. Still okay. Still okay. Still pretty much okay. Make sure you're there. All right. There we go. There we go. Got that straightened up just a hair. Which is all I needed, was just a little bit. Alright, so going to take our front piece and we want to mark it and pin right there in the center, right there at that seam. Do it from the inside. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing with this back one. We're going to mark it at the seam. Now we want to get our sides. Let go that. Put that right at that corner. So front to front. Pull that side over. Pull this to where now I can take that place and I'm going to pin it right there. Right where that fold is that I just made. Make sure it's nice and straight. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to this side. So I'm going to make sure my edges, I'm going to make a little crease there that I'll be able to see. And that is going to be where this pin goes. Now what we want to do is pull it. I don't really want to pull the shorts too much, but I do want to get that where it's now in the middle. I need to move that up just a hair. There's that. Now I still have a gap there. I'm going to pull it again. I'm going to push that up, press in with my finger so that I get it there. Same thing here. Pull it. Make sure it's level with that top. Press it down. And what I'm going to do is we're going to just sew along this top edge. And then when we fold it over and sew it in, this won't come undone for us. So I'll probably fold it twice but I won't know that until I get it put on. Okay. So we're just going to go all the way around and do the same thing. Make sure that we get all of our little pieces, and that's just to help us as we sew it, so we don't have to pull it so tight, because the machine doesn't always like it when you pull against the feed, which is what I would have to do. But by putting in this many pins, I don't really have that big of a problem doing it. Again, pull it, push that up to the top, put my thumb there. So what I do when I put my thumb there, I'm pressing down so that I get that tight against the material, and then I don't have either one of them moving on me. Okay, again. Now I will tell you, when you're doing this, if I were to need to iron this before I took the pins out, I would need to use a different type of pen, either the flat paper top or a glass head pen, because these will melt all over your iron, and that is just a mess you do not want to be part of. So again, there we go. Put it down the middle. Ow, quit. Stab myself. Put my finger in the middle. Finger in the middle. Now let's go and sew this down. Okay, we're going to start in the center at the center seam. Okay, so we've got it sewn in, and you can see that it is gathered around. I've got quite a bit of give in there now. And what we need to do now is fold over. which arises that. That's pretty good. Fold over, and we will hem it all the way around, just like that. And I've got, do not have enough, but what I'll do is I'll just kind of sew back over where I already sewed. So it should work out okay, giving me a nice gathered band in here. And that'll be ready. And then we will do our hem on the bottom. Remember, we put that memory in. So we're just going to fold it back, pin it in place. The nice thing about the top is we don't have to pin it this time, because the elastic tells us how big the hem needs to be. Let me grab a couple of pins. I don't need a whole lot because it does have a memory in it. Put them down here at the bottom. And we will be finished with these. Really quick, easy project. Get it done quickly in an afternoon, and that includes cutting it, because it really didn't take me hardly any time to cut it. I just did it at school where I could bring 4 tables together when I was working. Which what I'm planning to do is make me a large cutting area that's also going to be this area where we work. So that is, I'm going to use 2 of the 3 by 2 storage things. That will be my ends. And I've seen somebody make it on online, and I'll probably look that back up. And when I get ready to do it, or once I get mine done, I will link their information. I'm going to have to go back and find it again, but I want to for mine anyway. So once I get that found, I will link that for you. So let me fold this. This time I'm just going to go over and sew real quick the legs, and I will be right back. You won't even know it's gone, with my finished sleep shorts. And they are knee length, so hang on just a second. Okay, hem's not great. Should have lined it up better here. That was me being in a hurry. But it is roughly the same height all the way around. Makes me happy. Also, this one, to go back in and cut my threads. Again, I got carried away near the end and just didn't pay attention. Just had it go off wonky donkey on me. And that is just, again, being impatient. So here are my shorts. Here's our waist. That's the front, yeah. So there we go. There's our shorts. I'm pretty happy with them. I think they look pretty cool. They can be pretty long. Let's try them on. So hopefully you enjoyed it. This is the, let me grab the front page. There we go. The Walk the Plank PJ Bottoms by Patterns for Pirates. They have a number of different patterns. I like them. I think I will also make some of the shorter ones once I get the actual size dialed in. But yeah, these are not bad. Not bad. So when you're making things, make it with, and this is why on Project Runway, you know how they always make things with muslin? This is why. You don't want to use you do not want to cut your good fabric until you know if it's going to fit. Till you know if you're going to have to make adjustments. So now I know I have to make adjustments. So I'll put those on this pattern. I'll make notes to myself. And next time I'll probably make me a medium. So hope you enjoyed it. One more make down so far for 2023. We've done the pencil bag. We've done a pair of underwear. We've done this pair of shorts. We've talked about some of the different makes that we're going to make this year. So, yay, go us. I'll do a recap at the end of January, everything we've made, everything that we would change, and any alterations I've made since then. Hope you liked it. I love these. I love the way they feel. I wish you could feel them. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Have a great week.